So it feels like it's been some time in the coming, but Three Kingdoms has finally released, and we are going to be getting our teeth into a brand new campaign. I've played a little bit of a campaign just to sort of get my feet wet with regards to some of the mechanics that are in the game. So I won't be starting from a position of complete ignorance, but most of the game's sort of intricacies are still somewhat unknown to me. And of course, I haven't really gone beyond the 15 turn limit yet, so certainly when we get into the mid and late game there will be a lot of things, particularly with regards to the diplomacy, that I'm not yet too familiar with. But we will be playing as one of the big three. We will be playing as Cao Cao, the warlord who founded the Kingdom of Wei. And I feel like playing one of the big three is honestly the best place to start anyway. And if this series does particularly well, then I'll be willing to start another campaign as well, perhaps as one of the Yellow Turbans or one of the Outlaws, to give a completely different feel to a campaign. But yeah, we'll be diving right on in. Cao Cao as well is sort of more of a cavalry focused general with regards to his armies. He's focused around diplomatic manipulation and yeah, that sort of thing. I have also got the Chinese voices and subtitles on. Well, the Chinese voices and the English subtitles. Obviously I can't read Chinese. But if that is something that people do want me to change going forward, then I will be willing to do that. But I feel as though it's a game set in China, we may as well go with the Chinese voices, seeing as CA were willing to put in the effort to have both of those options. So yeah, we'll dive right on into the campaign.
火尽灰飞，点亮夜色。董卓权倾朝野，奸浊世间。洛阳一片火海，诛灭燕患后，朝野混乱。汉室起于鸡心之上，黑暗之中亦有机遇，是所谓弱肉强食。曹操审时度势，伺机而动，无论是何代价，都要恢复天下秩序。洛阳烟火彤彤，今已化为丘墟。如此大祸，皆因董卓权势熏天。此贼劫迁天子，可谓暴虐之极，又不失为一条毒计。董贼掌控朝廷，便可掌控天下。
孤乃当今治世之能臣，乱世之奸雄也。
讨董联军主公以为如何？他们
君合力不齐，此蒙羞矣。不过，众人倒可借此彰显昔日威风。如此看来，争天下为王者，舍孤其谁？羸缩之期，不但在天，养怡之福，可得永年。
It does come to mind that I've played quite a lot of games with Asian voiceover lately, with Sekiro being something that I played with the Japanese voices on as well. So, establish your power, Lord Cao Cao. You have been cast out, branded an enemy of the Empire. It is clear that only you have the capability to end Dong Zhuo's tyranny and bring peace. You can use the surging population and pliable peasantry of your homelands to your advantage, whilst vulnerable foes to the north may make expansion there beneficial. The time has come to increase your prestige and influence, then unite what has been divided. Be wary of Yuan Shu to the west and Tao Qian to the east, or Tao Qian to the east. Claim the neighbouring Han Empire regions. Pursued by Dong Zhuo's men, Cao Cao prepares to fight. The coalition is finished, and the tyranny of Dong Zhuo endures. Despite your intentions, the time has now come to look to other plans. Although you have returned home, there is little time to waste. The tyrant has sent Han forces to apprehend you. They must be defeated before we can look to our future. Engage the enemy army, so I would assume that this is indeed them. Yep, so Yuan Huan is going to be our first target, a taste of victory, 30 military supplies, and 5 morale. Excuse me. So this is actually interesting. Most meters like this I've seen in more recent Total War games, they degrade over time, but Cao Cao's actually improves over time. So I would imagine that this means there's relatively few ways to actually accelerate that improvement, so we will have to be quite sparing with when we use our diplomatic credibility. But that's nice. It means that we won't be punished essentially for staying within our defences for too long. So we have Shahud, who is going to be our most trusted general, our legendary champion. So champions, of course, they're the duelists. There are many different types of general in this game, to be fair, especially when you incorporate the Yellow Turban's unique general types. But we have a legendary champion and a legendary commander. So Cao Cao. What do we have with regards to followers? Expertise, administered commandery, enables formation wedge. Oh yeah, Cao Cao's got a lot of cavalry, so we definitely want the ability to utilise that to our fullest advantage. Let's actually have a look before we move on at our court. So here we are at the head of our faction. Our heir is Cao Pi, who, again, another character that's prominently featured in Dynasty Warriors. And then we have quite a few people down here that we can use to our advantage as well. So we have Cao Song, who I think actually is our father. Yes, he is. We also have Lady Bian, our wife. Cao Ren, who is a sentinel and one of our loyal retainers. And then we have two other cousins that we have as well, the Shahud and Shahou Yuan. So Shahou Yuan is a vanguard. That's pretty good. Okay, so we've got a decent bed from which we can draw talent from here. My voice is still just on the verge of collapse, I think, as is normally the case. So let's have a look at reforms here. So we have got the first in the military reforms already. So that's interesting. So recruitment cost is lower, which is nice. But depending on what we actually get will depend, in terms of territories we conquer, will determine what tree we go down first. If we get a lot of agriculture stuff, we'll go down green. If we get a lot of trade, we'll go down blue. I don't think we will get a bunch of infrastructure stuff. I think that's not as big in this part of the map. Maybe if we go further south, that will be the case. But we may as well go right into, because we can't recruit on turn 1, so we might as well just get right on with the business of battle. So, Cao Cao attacking the Han Empire. Let's begin.
"今国乱岁凶，人心思乱，当趁此良机，整顿乱民，强梁和灭，小小当诛，肃清天下，再孤一人。"
So, welcome to the battlefield for Total War 3 Kingdoms for the first battle in this campaign, and Cao Cao himself is going to be atop his loyal steed Shadowrunner in our first battle. So, having a look at the battlefield here, obviously it's going to be overwhelming in the advantage in my favour. So you can see Yuan Huan's army is across the way. We'll take a quick look at them before we get going. Obviously it's a very small army, all things considered, comprised of just 2 units of very basic saber militia. Still getting used to the camera controls here, of course. I do like the red coloration that they've got going on, but it's probably not going to help them too much. They also have a very depleted unit of archer militia. You can see here, not really wearing armour at all. Very, very basic leather caps. And then we have Yuan Huan himself over here, who is a commander, so he will at least be able to give some buffs to his troops. But you can see that even his gear is not the best, and he is the most elite man in his army. Meanwhile, our forces over here are arrayed against him, and we can see that Cao Cao is going to be on the wing with the cavalry contingent, the main strength of our army early on, and especially, well, throughout the campaign, but especially early on where these higher tier units are not going to be entering the fray too much. Less so with this unit over here. We just have some mounted saber cavalry, which is essentially the mounted variant of the unit we just saw across the way, with very basic sort of rattan wicker shields here, but it will still give us the shock value that cavalry has, which will be very, very nice. But these guys are something which early on no one else is going to have anything to match them. This is the leopard and tiger cavalry, so you can see, well, tiger and leopard cavalry, heavy variant of them as well, so it's the stronger of the two. So it's an all-rounder, shock cavalry, of course. It has formations, very, very potent indeed, and they will only be made more potent with their liege Cao Cao right behind them. So he, as a commander, will be able to give buffs to them, and in particular, he has been built and spec'd with the cavalry in mind, so he will be riding with them. He's not the best combatant in and of his own right. Commanders, they can look after themselves, but you can't really expect them to wade too much through the blood of their foes. Meanwhile, the main body of our army, out on both wings, we have 2 units of the spear guards, which Again, they're an early tier unit, so you can see that they don't have the finest armour, but they do have a good shield, which will help them when it comes to dealing with arrow fire, and of course their spears as well, so should we come across any other armies that have cavalry in them, they will be very, very handy indeed. We too have 3 units of the Sabre Militia, so of the same type, that are across the field, but they are greater in number, and of course the army that is around them is substantially stronger. Also, we have 2 units of fully stocked Archer Militia, of course, very, very potent. And then, at the head of this army, we have Shahudwin, the champion. So he is a level 3 champion, and that means he is fully focused around being a duelist. And that means, should we manage to pin down Yuan Huan, we will be in a very good position indeed. So, without further ado, let us begin. The farmers and villagers that were working the fields just in behind have retreated within their homes as the bloodshed is about to get underway. You can see the main body of my army moving forwards, and they really have nowhere they can go. They're going to have to try and take me head on, but we have of course trapped them. This minor force from the Han Empire is about to be utterly overwhelmed, and now the archers are going about their grisly work. It is just the 1 unit of archers we have, in fact, but you can see that they are in far greater number than the enemy archers, and also the enemy archers are not too eager to come into range because they know the skirmish power arrayed against them is too much. So it looks as though the AI instead is going to try and keep their swordsmen out in front. They do have those shields after all, but as far as shields go, not the highest quality. Also, you know, a low tier unit as well, so any arrows that do find their mark are probably going to be able to kill them, even if the arch unit I'm using is not quite of... they are still peasants armed with bows as well, so the vast majority of troops on the field today are just very basic troops indeed. But you can see that the enemy, eventually, they will be forced into moving forwards. Yuan Huan is probably not fancying his chances in this fight, but he is the one who decided to invade our lands under the banner of the Han Empire at Dong Zhuo's behest, so he will pay the price for that. More arrows just whistling in. You can see at this point the enemy has had their fill. They are going to move forwards as they continue to take a real beating, but of course as they move forward that will give my cavalry over on the wing the excuse they need to move in. Meanwhile my infantry is going to move forward, filing through the ranks of the archers here. The swordsmen are going to be at the front, and my spearmen are going to be around the sides. You can see that they're not really liking the look of the engagement. As it becomes apparent, they are utterly overwhelmed. Sabre Militia coming in. You can see there's also Spear Militia. Shahudwin is out on his own here on the wing, trying to hunt down Yuan Huan, as the cavalry also comes in, getting ready to crush what's left of their archers. The enemy general collides with the lines. You can see here that the Tiger and Leopard cavalry, the heavy variant, with the lances down, are just going to completely destroy that unit of archers really very, very quickly. And as if on cue, my other unit of cavalry is going to charge in. The enemy unit flees, what cowards, and now you can see over here the enemy commander is completely surrounded. Yuan Huan surrounded on all sides by infantrymen, spearmen. Shahudwin is also in there as well, and killing enemy generals is his bread and butter. Cao Cao is also getting involved. The Lord himself on the front lines, feeling safe enough to come. And there you can see Yuan Huan utterly vanquished. And there is still this clump of Han Empire soldiers as the Tiger and Leopard cavalry comes forward. Again, their armour is much, much higher quality than anything else on the field today, other than, of course, Cao Cao and Shahudwin themselves. As we get into the meat and bones of this fight, you can see that my colour scheme is just a darker red, a burgundy almost, so we do tend to blend in with the retinue that we're facing. But here in the sunset, the Han Empire have been scoured from the field. Rather chunky UI, I have to say, in this game. A lot of UI elements on the screen, but it's good that we can just make them go away on demand. And there we go. The Han Empire force is vanquished, as it was always clear that was what was going to happen in this fight. They were utterly outmatched, and a very easy task to defeat the incursion force into our homelands, and from here we will of course be able to expand outwards. But with that will of course come the reprisal of much stronger foes.
胜负定当如此。
So as you might expect, the first battle in a Total War campaign is not the most complicated affair. Having a look at this though, we are within our own territory, so I don't think we need more supplies, especially seeing as Cao Cao we get extra military supplies anyway. 60 over 100 is pretty good. Maybe a little bit more income? We didn't lose anything, so yeah, sure. Let's just go for a little bit more money. And this means we have a little bit more morale to play with as well. Glorious victory. This victory is just the beginning, a cautious tactical beginning. From here, I must continue to consolidate and expand. Future victory will only come through careful strategy. Extra experience for our faction leader. Banner of War is raised and Cao Cao marches. You are safe for now, Lord Cao Cao, but we cannot rest. The time has come to expand your rule. The nearby farmland is an opportunity waiting to be seized and a chance to push back against those enthralled to Dongjua. So I think support from the people, public order and faction support. Yeah, we're heading down this way anyway. So the initial missions are obviously very easy to do. And I think actually we can just punch right on through. Before we do that though, it might be a good idea to actually look at our town in Chen. So we do have a land registry office. That's a green building. And I think, having a look at this, a livestock farm. That, I think, is more agriculture stuff as well. So it could be that we go down the green tree first of all. Can we build anything new here? Tax collection. That's less public order. Peasants don't like being taxed, I suppose. Extra income. Learning and market buildings cost reduction. So that would be the blue buildings. Although, do we need the blue buildings? I think we'll hold fire on that for now. Don't really need to build anything all new just yet. But we could upgrade the town to a large town. And we have the money to do so, and we can't recruit new units on the first turn anyway, so you know what, I'm just going to go for it right away. While we have the money and the income to do so, and we're just going to punch right on through to Chen. Superior forces. Yeah, I'm just going to delegate this battle, I think. Pyrrhic victory. Yeah, we lost a fair amount. We have the livestock farm now, though. Excellent. Establishing order. The settlement will be a valuable tool in our continuing endeavours. It must thrive, the population must grow, that it might best serve our needs. Cao Cao administrates firmly but fairly. Although you have your eyes on the future, my lord, do not forget you must remain strong both at home as well as in the field. Our home infrastructure can be developed. Oh right, well we need to upgrade a building anyway. Perfect. We're already doing that. However, Kongzhou is down here. And Wang Lang is over here. There's Tao Chen. There's a Yellow Turban territory there. I think it might be best to try and unite the Chen commandery before we do anything else. There's some nice farmland over there, still in the thrall of the Han Empire. There's more Yellow Turbans over there though, so it might be that Yellow Turbans end up being the prime source of trouble. Actually, how many losses do we take? None of our units died fully, so we're going to have plenty of opportunity to replenish when we head through our own territory. So that should be just fine. Perhaps we can't actually recruit anything yet, what am I saying? Diplomacy. So we already know Yuan Shao, and it might be a good idea to try and get on his good side. Yeah, let's negotiate with him, see if we can do anything. Yuan Shao, my friend. We've got a lot of food. He's got a lot of money. What's this? Trade influence. Right, we don't want to declare war. We don't really have anything we can do at the moment. You cannot negotiate this. Oh, we already have a non-aggression pact with him. Okay. Well, seeing as we already have a bit of a relationship going on with our old friend, we'll just leave it there for now. So I think actually that's all we need to do. Turn 1. Straightforward enough. So our territory looks to be quite open, although it is quite similar, I've noticed, the map design to this as it was actually in Shogun, where it might look open, but there are still pathways that you're intended to go through. There's more of a livestock farm down there, but I think we should try and reunite Chen Commandery before we go and try and do anything else. Cao Cao and Xiahou Duin actually took quite a lot of damage from that last battle. So we could Ooh, Shahu Yuan is expensive. I think probably what we'll do with Shahu Yuan actually is our second army will be under his command. I think that will be the best way to go about things. But I think what we will do is get Cao Ren on board. So this is going to be some axe infantry for us as well. It's a fair amount of money that we're having to spend on this, but honestly I think it's worthwhile. Maybe we could do with a couple more archers, just so we can put a bit more pressure at range. Well, we don't actually need to worry too much about that for now, I don't think. So yeah, there's a lot of harmony. Generals are in harmony with one another. They all share similar opinions, so this is a well-constructed army. He's actually got some decent armor as well. So our starting characters start off pretty well equipped, which is nice. Can we actually... We do have an assignment. So we could send Cao Song, tax and public order. Although that's a big loss of food if we do that. Gives public order. I don't think public order is too much of a problem, so we're going to send our wife to collect some taxes for us. And pass the turn. For now we're just marching. Unless the Han Empire decides to try and take that livestock farm away from us. Winter it is. I don't think we take attrition in our own territory. Okay, let's head to the border of our own territory for now. Can we encamp? We can't. We could try and ambush, but there's really no point to that. Right. Let's give everyone a nice... What's this? Oh, we have a general skill point. Perfect. So, what can we give Cao Cao? Flexibility, redeployment cost, replenishment when commanding, clarity, building upkeep, that's administered commandery though. Morale when attacking. Can't get that yet. Imperious presence, passive buff. So commanders are kind of like... Oh, there's a bit of a cutout in the audio. I have noticed the audio cuts out a bit in this game. I'm a bit worried of an impending crash whenever that happens. Yes, commanders are essentially the classic Total War generals. They're mainly used to inspire nearby troops and make them better. Whereas Shahu Duin, of course, is our champion. He's our duelist. And Cao Ren is going to be our sentinel, which is our tank, essentially. We already have that, I think. So... Dignity, instinct, disciplined. What does disciplined actually give us? Oh, we already have that as well. Never mind. Available assignments. That's actually a pretty good one. I'm going for that because that means we will have another assignment. Whenever we get another town, we'll be able to have 2 people on assignment rather than just 1. So we have a decent enough... Ooh, there's swordsmen actually as well. I'm going to go for some archer militia though because they are nice and cheap. And it will also give us more of a ranged presence. That's still upgrading. Our livestock farm... Ah, right, okay. Only 1 building at a time per commandery. Fair enough. So you're on our border. You know what, I'll accept that, because with Yellow Turbans and Han Empire holdings all around me, I really don't want to be at war with you as well. Maybe we can start building our own little mini coalition. Sowing the seeds for future improvements. Okay. So this is the road. We can't quite make it, but there is no one here to stop us from just taking this place. Excellent. We do have our first reform note. So, actually, before we get involved in this, so this is all farmland, which means I think maybe this population growth. Although we could have this as well. Income from peasantry. Yeah, we want more income. Early on in a Total War campaign, if you can get more income, you can support more armies, which is the most important thing. I think that's it for now. We can't build anything else. Ooh, that's a Yellow Turban army. And they're besieging that. Okay. An army is called and Cao Cao looks to lead. Word of your efforts has spread and there are now many who admire your ambition, believing you to be the one with the strength and drive to reunite China. They are willing to put their faith and leadership and in your leadership and offer their talents at your service. It is time for you to start recruiting warriors. Okay, so I don't have quite the amount I need for now. That could be a pretty dicey affair, but I think we're at war with Are we at war with the Yellow Turbans though? That's a good point. We are not, I don't think. I mean, we're going to be at war with the Yellow Turbans, that's a given. Okay. Really don't want them besieging that though. If I beat them here, I could drive them back though. Yeah, it's an interesting, because I think their army is like fully, well actually no, their army is not fully stocked. Neither is mine though. Yeah, my units are already, I think we're just, that's annoying, but I think we're going to have to accept that he got there first. Because I don't have the health in my generals to take on that, I don't think. He's a scholar, so that's a strategist, I think. Or are they sentinels? And he's a healer. Yeah, it might have been better worth my time to go down here. I wanted to unite my commandery, but that might have been a mistake in hindsight. I should have gone for what was right in front of me rather than trying to go for this farmland. Right, hang on. Okay, so I'm going to encamp, which will give me a bit of replenishment, at least on my generals. Uninjured and raring for battle. I'll see what he does, because maybe he loses that fight. If he wins, though, I think we'll just have to try and fight elsewhere. Yeah, the Han Empire are here, and they did manage to get rid of them. Wang Lang. No, I'm not giving you ancillaries. You're poor as well. Not sure if I want to be tied to you. So that's good. That's very good, actually. So we should now be able to move in and take that. It said we had another ancillary, though. Oh, we have loads of ancillaries, in fact. So what's your satisfaction like? You're at 40. You desire a higher court position. Well, these are both the same. So you can have a bit more satisfaction. What about you? No, you're very satisfied, actually. That's good. That's used by Shahou Dwin. That's a bow. I think we'll give that to Shahou Yuan, actually. I know that he was an archer in history. Right. So that farmland is damaged. Do you have a garrison there? I'm just going to go into normal stance and take this. Superior forces, low casualties. I want to fight one of these siege battles soon, but really there's no need to here, because the towers are so strong in this. If I have overwhelming advantage like this, I'll probably take less losses if I just delegate the battle. Yeah, 141. That's good. So we'll occupy that. Excellent. So we have united Chen Commandery. Do we get anything special for that? Devastation. We need to fix that. Only 14, and they couldn't be bothered to fix it themselves. Come on, guys, please. Maybe I should as well. Let me see what's going on in court. We don't actually have any positions yet that we can dish out. So even if people want higher court positions, I'm not really in a position to grant them. But I am thinking maybe if I raise an army... It's a big expense to get Shahou Yuan to do this, but I think maybe we want to. It's a cavalry unit though, so if I want to use it defensively, it doesn't really make a good deal of sense to do that. Okay. There's no rush to do such things just yet. Now then. I think moving forwards... So where's the Yellow River? The Yellow River should be... Ah, that's Dongjua. Right, so the Yellow River is north of us, which is here. There's a city there. That's a level 5 settlement. We already have a level 3 settlement, which is honestly not half bad. Well, I mean, he might come back for us, but he's already damaged. So, we did the right thing by waiting there. Thank goodness. I will give... Holy crap. Why do you want all of my ancillaries? Great Glaive? No, I can't do it, man. I want to be in a coalition with you because I don't really have any desire to go that far north yet, but if you're demanding all of that nonsense, then I'm afraid not. I need to deal with that Han army that's in my borders now. The death of Cao Song. Word has reached you that your beloved father Cao Song has been ambushed and murdered by the vile Tao Qian. There will be time for grieving later, but for now your advisors are calling for you to act. Follow the story. So this is what happened in real life. He did declare war on Tao Qian, I think. Maybe seen as an act of treachery. War declared, Cao Cao Tao Qian. Character killed, Cao Song. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, from what we know, he killed our father. But we get more experience from that. So we don't actually have a direct border with Tao Qian yet. But we can fix that, I think, by just taking the temple that the Yellow Turbans currently hold on to. Right, I'm not sure. They'll probably retreat from us, to be honest. So hang on a moment. We have a bunch of ancillaries, apparently. It's a clay axe. Ah, I see. So this is melee damage. That's better. We could go for dual Jian. Ceremonial sword. Great glaive. We've got a lot of weapons, actually. Family spear. Right, so that's -3 expertise. As a sentinel, you want expertise, though. So honestly, I think maybe the Jian that he's currently using would probably be for the best. It's not very much armor piercing either, so we'll just leave that as is for now. As for you, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage. Not a lot of armor piercing damage, but heirloom spear is exceptional. I mean, we're not hurting for weapons, so as soon as we can recruit Shahou Yuan, we'll be in a good place to just give him some nice weaponry right away. Lady Bian has upgraded, which is good. So we can give her disciplined. Just wondering what would be the best here, because what we want is stuff for faction support. Sure, that'd be good. Right. Enough of this nonsense. Ah, they're standing and fighting. Interesting. Yeah, this is such an overwhelming victory that is another one we can delegate. Didn't take very many losses at all. We gained a fair amount of money. We have full supplies now because, again, we're in our own territory, so we don't need military supplies. I'm going to take the replenishment, though. Right, so we can't actually move any further. But it's definitely within our interest, I think, now to get on to the other side of our territory, back towards the livestock farm, because we could take another livestock farm, potentially. Maybe even that small city. A city would be quite difficult to take, though. Yeah, I think we go for smaller targets first, and then build up our power base before we get too greedy. What else can we upgrade? So, government support. So that will cost us money per term, but food production, more income. More income, that should more than make up for it. Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. Okay. There's the yellow turbans going away. Right, they want military access. They want food and... No, I don't want military access. We don't even share a border, not a proper one anyway. That's the border we have, through a mountain. And you want me to give you stuff so that I can march through your territory to basically nowhere. Diao Chan, the minister Wang Yun, fearing the tyranny of Dongjua, sends his adopted daughter to the capital. His plan is to have her destroy the relationship between Dongjua and his adopted son, Lu Bu. It's a good point, actually. What about the relationships we've got going on? Military relations. So we have negative relations with Chen Gong. Past events, I betrayed and abandoned them. Obviously, we don't have good relations with Dongjua. Poor relations with Tao Chen as well. That was our own doing. I have a Shadow Runner. Nice horse. Alright, it's winter. So we will winter in our town. Or I would like to, but we're like a tiny amount outside the point where we can go back in. Maybe it's a good idea, after all, to raise Shaoyuan now. We have the income to do it, so I'm going to do it. Right, let's see what you've got going on. So, you have a family spear. I think, though, for you, that's a charge bonus, and seeing as you're a vanguard, you're going to use the glaive. So, followers. Overseer. Increased provisions. Campaign movement range. Actually, that's something we want on Cao Cao himself, I think. Right, you... I think we will give you something which makes you just a little bit more satisfied. Yeah, okay. So this is good. And nope, I don't want that. I want this. Yep. Oh, you've got a lot of cav though. Yeah, I think actually you will give you the Overseer. And we'll give you the Builder, why not? Okay. I think we're in a good place there. So this means we'll have a small Outrider army that's going to be following us around. We want to be careful though, because we don't want to go too far with negative faction support. Oh, 30 turns, a rebellion in 30 turns, I don't care about that. Okay. Maybe we could do with a bit of public order in our buildings. Yuan Shao declared war on Gao Gan. Yuan Shu declared war on He Yi. Okay, so that's good. So that means he'll be focused elsewhere. Zhang Yan declared war on the Yellow Turban Rebellion. An army is called and Cao Cao looks to lead. Hold 3 settlements. Excellent. My credibility increases. Ambition's folly. Ambition is laudable, yet this general strategy is to raise Their own standing at the expense of others has not endeared them to their peers. Deceit has won the promotion they coveted, but those may appear... Hang on a minute. Oh, satisfaction? Really? Why? Why would you do this? Tao Chen is still on the other side of Wang Lang. There's small cities on both sides of us, but I think we should go for Yangzhou. So we may have taken the historical path with regards to how we decided to handle the Tao Chen situation, but we're going southward. And the Kingdom of Wei was what encompassed most of northern China more than anything else. But another livestock farm I think would be good. But seriously, what's with this public order? Well, the garrison should help a little bit. We have another thing we can do here now. Population growth. Food. What's this unit here? Peasant band. Not sure if we want peasant band. What's this though? Spear warriors. So this is the spear tree. Where's the cavalry though? That's my question. So cavalry is the military path. Okay. Construction cost, military infrastructure, military supplies. Income from all sources. Yeah, I've got to go for that one, honestly. It's just too good not to pick. From all sources? Are you kidding me? Okay. Yeah. Why aren't you satisfied? Oh, because of the recent events. Well, I should have something to give you. Yeah. Okay, so that should at least stave off the low satisfaction problem for now. Hopefully that event's negative traits will pass. Okay. More territory will do us good. Right. Ah, my credibility increases. My lord, the generals under your command are talented individuals, each with an array of skills. Send any character on assignment. I've already done that, I think. Or have I? Well, I do have another assignment slot, but I don't have another settlement with which to actually take full advantage of that. Han Empire have garrisoned this town, but they will be no match for us, I don't think. Not with an army of this size, and not with generals of this talent. Maybe we should bring Shaoyuan as well, though, just for the sake of overwhelming numbers. Still low general satisfaction. It's as long as it stays at 19. That's my wife as well. Okay. Well, we're in a position where we can take another territory anyway. Getting rid of these Han Empire holdings. Liu Dai trade agreement. That's worth a decent amount per turn, I think. Can we negotiate with this? Oh no, he has given me the fair deal. Okay. Sure. That should give us the opportunity to be a little bit more friendly with someone on our border anyway.
熊熊烈火灼天，亦会有熄灭殆尽之时。气绝而火熄，余下的不过是碧波作响而已。贼臣已死，于禁之中，又有多少人蠢蠢欲动？
Wang Kuang declared war on Liu Dai, but more importantly, Oh, a daughter has been born to us. Good. Cao Baoji. Each according to their ability. Send any character on assignment. Reach faction rank 2nd Marquis. Okay, so that's good. We'll just continue to do that. Fall of the Tyrant. Here we go. The Minister Wang Yun is plotting, or has succeeded, in overthrowing Dong Zhuo, no longer willing to suffer the tyrant. It is said that Dong Zhuo's adopted son had been manipulated into striking the killing blow. So Dong Min is now the faction leader for Dong Zhuo's old faction, the overlord of the Han Empire, but they're in real trouble now. I think they will start to fall apart. Right, so that should be in reinforcement range. Superior forces. High predicted casualties, though. Yeah, you know what? This is the time where we fight a battle, I think. We will fight for control of the livestock.
信封已至，胜券可期。
朋友，为我们心中大志，奋力一搏吧！
诸君切莫迟疑，我军必胜。
So our invasion of Yangzhou begins with the seizing of its livestock, and this army is pretty potent, all things considered. So we have, of course, the archer companies that we have purchased, and you can see here from the way that I've laid out my army, I have my central infantry force, including all of my axemen, swordsmen, spearmen and archers, who are going to be led into battle by Cao Ren, and then Xiahou Duin, Cao Cao and Xiahou Yuan will be moving in with the cavalry in one big blob. Xiahou Duin with the express purpose of trying to kill off, and you can see over there the Shun Yu, who is the commander, and also then Xiahou Yuan will be able to recharge the enemy as a vanguard, and then Cao Cao will just be making everyone around him that much stronger. So if we get a good look, obviously still most of our army is made up of these militia units, so peasants that have been given weaponry. You can see, of course, the spearmen still here, those shields, very, very useful, because the enemy do have a fair amount of archers. We also have those saber militia, of course, which are going to be the bread and butter of our frontline force. However, we now also have the slightly more aggressive focused axe band. So you can see the axemen. Obviously, they're going to be pretty useful for biting into the enemy infantry line. And then you can see over here Cao Ren, who is going to be leading our forces as a sentinel. He will, of course, be just that little bit more tanky on the front line. He will be helping to hold things together. Having a look at some of the other units that we perhaps haven't seen. This is our mounted swordsman, of course. We've already seen Xiahou Duin. At the moment, he still has both of his eyes. That probably won't last if he continues to perform as well as he's doing, because at some point when he levels up to a certain point, he loses his eye, as happened in history. They're, of course, heavy tiger and leopard cavalry, extremely, extremely potent. And then the man himself, Cao Cao. However, we also have our reinforcing armies over here, led by Xiahou Yuan, who is going to be leading an army of his own as soon as we can build it up. But for now, he is acting as reinforcement, so he's there with his great glaive, and he has got a couple of units of G militia cavalry. So this is going to be, again, a little bit more all-purpose with those longer Gs that they are wielding. Having a look at the enemy position, they have, of course, taken up position on the hill, led by Shun Yu, who is another commander, so he will be buffing his forces, and this is going to be a slightly more troublesome affair, because they have taken up position on a hill. It's only slight, but it still gives them a nice fortified position. He also has a G infantry captain over here, so you can see that they have slightly thicker armour. They're essentially the replacement for a general, so a garrison will be led by a captain like this, which is a fairly sturdy unit of infantrymen. So in terms of a single infantry unit, they're probably stronger than anything I have, to be honest, but there is only one of them, of course, and the rest of his army is still made up of the same units that I'm using, essentially. The axe band, the saber militia, I believe there's a couple of units of them here, indeed there is, and then some spearmen as well. The one thing he does have in abundance, however, is a huge amount of archers back here. He has got a massive ranged advantage, so that's how he's going to win this battle, if he is going to win it, but I, of course, have the cavalry to deal with that, so let's see how this goes. So the red and white banners of the Han Empire fluttering in the breeze as we get ready for the first engagements, which will be at range, which will favour them because of all of their archers. However, you can see that my army is advancing into position. My own banners, the burgundy, moving into place. You can see here that I am going to be able to get the first volleys off, which will allow me to do a little bit of damage, but as soon as they start to return fire, it's going to get pretty ugly for me. But we do have, of course, our cavalry companies heading around the wings, and they will be able to cover ground far quicker than anything the enemy has available to them. And just having a look, they do have some spears as well as some G, which we do have to watch out for, but the charge is what's really going to do them in here if they're not careful, and they can't cover every angle. As you can see here, the sabers taking a little bit of damage, but now you can see the enemy archers are getting into place, getting ready to try and shoot down my army as it approaches. And just from sheer numbers here, none of the archers on display are of particularly high quality compared to what you can get later on in the game. But here, when it comes to peasant warfare, those with the superior numbers will win, of course. And you can see here, my archers are not having the best time of it, falling by the wayside very, very quickly. The enemy are on a hill, of course. I am out on open ground, a sitting duck. However, just waiting for my cavalry to get into position. You can see it now picking up the pace a little bit because I saw how quickly my archers were dying. But the infantry force I have amassed is pretty impressive, so you can see that I do have 3 units of Saber Militia. Xiahou Yuan is not pleased with the fact that the archers are routing. My spears are going to move up on the flanks again, and I've got my axe band on this flank to compensate for the fact that all my cavalry is on the other side, so we're going to be applying pressure of some sort on both sides as the arrows continue to fly. Cavalry getting into position. You can see some of the units of enemy archers did actually see my cavalry in the distance and decided to try and shoot them down. But there's only so much the enemy are going to be able to do, and you can actually see here that they're leaving one wing completely exposed to both units of Axeband and the spears, which does mean they will be able to put up more of a fight here in the middle. But unfortunately, leaving their side open is really going to be a massive problem for them. As the Saber Militia comes in, all I need my infantry to do is hold them in place, as my cavalry and my flanking force of Axemen do the rest. You can see actually now that all of their archers have pretty much redirected their attention to try and focus down my infantry, which does mean my own archers are going to be able to get some damage done as more of my Saber Militia come in. My spearmen are also on the way in. The Han Empire banners still in a pretty decent formation, very tightly packed, but here you can see all of my Axemen on the way in, but perhaps more worryingly for the Han is the huge force of cavalry I have. My heavy cavalry coming in, and some of their archers are exposed. This is where their infantry is at its strongest, however. I didn't have a lot of infantry pressurising this flank, so it is going to be up to my cavalry to charge in and deal with them. But you can see here, constant charges now from the Saber cavalry as well. Xiahou Yuan taunting the enemy as they flee. Cao Cao and both of his cousins, Xiahou Yuan and Xiahou Dun, hitting the rear. And Cao Ren fighting on the front line, another one of Cao Cao's cousins actually, doing the business. The horse there kicking one of his foes. And you can see there that I saw the enemy general, and so Xiahou Dun is going to immediately try and hunt him down. That is his purpose after all. Xiahou Yuan waiting for the opportune charge as the Axemen continue to push in. And I actually am going to charge right in here to the centre again, try and really focus down that enemy general. A lot of my cavalry units chasing down the fleeing enemy units. Bit of lag there, but you can see, yeah, there's still a decent chunk of units over here of swordsmen and G, but I'm able to constantly cycle charge them, which, given time, even the slightly stronger against cavalry units of G are really going to start to feel the pressure here. A huge flood of infantry charging down the hill, dealing with what's left of the axe band in the middle. Some cavalry moving down the hill as well with their G. A few of them dying off, but you can see here this is the G captain of the enemy forces surrounded, and that's really going to be turning the screw on him. And that's going to be pretty much everything. You can see Cao Cao moving in, enjoying a charge with his cavalrymen. Another G infantry captain over here actually. Oh, that must be where the captain went, and that was just a unit of regular G infantry. Still, that's better than the G militia I have. Xiahou Dun is still trying to hunt down Shen Yu, and he's having a good amount of success there. You can see that he has taken some damage. A huge clump of my forces just finishing off what's left of that. Xiahou Yuan over here getting really stuck in to the enemy, but he is a vanguard, so this is exactly what he's meant to do. Cripple enemy infantry, do a lot of damage to enemy units, whereas his brother Xiahou Dun is more designed for hunting down enemy generals. And I think, yep, Xiahou Dun is going to be successful. There's just no way to get away really. The heavy Tiger and Leopard cavalry is here also. Cao Ren, also now free from his obligation to fight on the front line, is just going to be helping to chase down some of these units, as the Han Empire forces are in complete disarray. Their general is running from the field. All of their units are gone. And Shahudwin is going to deliver a real message to the Han Empire here, killing off yet another one of their generals, if he can catch them. Shahudwin really does deserve a better horse, of the same caliber of Shadowrunner that Cao Cao gets to ride. Yeah, and you can see here just how much damage Shahudwin is able to do. Huge amounts on each swing. A routing foe, of course, that isn't fighting back, and fighting down single target entities is exactly the sort of thing a champion is designed for. And there he goes, shanked in the back. And Cao Cao certainly enjoyed that. So we have taken our livestock farm in our neighbouring commandery, and we will now be able to push on from here. Perhaps not the most, well, not the smoothest of victories, but still, nonetheless, a hard-fought one. And also this will give us more food, I think, so we'll peacefully occupy, because the last thing we need is more public order problems. We still have Xiahou Yuan there, and again, cavalry definitely proving to be a very worthwhile investment. I don't think we're going to go further this way for the time being, though, so we have yet more food. We've got tons of food, actually. Might be worth our while to perhaps try and trade some of this off for a profit. Right, Xiahou Yuan is going to go back to the livestock farm, just to give us a bit of a garrison there. I say that. That was a bit of a misclick. Okay. We still have an assignment, but we don't have any other places we can actually go out on assignment to, which is my problem. Wang Lang is also blocking our path to expansion through Tao Chen. Luoyang is actually nearby, but that's desolate, so no need to concern ourselves too much with that. I think what we need now is a strategist character, so that we can build some siege equipment and start thinking about taking either Yangzhou or Yingchuan. Because we're going to need, I think, at least some form of siege equipment to start thinking about taking on towns such as that. And that's a low general satisfaction. Construction available. It should still be the same person. Yeah, okay. We're fine. Other than that, I think we're good to just continue past the turn. Han Empire, what are they going to do with all, now that I have taken away a great number of territories from them? Revenge is schemed against old adversaries. There is corruption at the heart of the Tao family, which can no longer be tolerated. To avoid betrayal now or in the future, their leader should be confronted and defeated as soon as possible. Destroy the following factions: Tao Chen, Path of Glory, 4K population growth, public order, income from peasantry, so all the good things. So it is definitely sort of corralling us towards fighting him, which might not be the worst idea, but we're probably going to have to go through Wang Lang in order to get there. I wonder, do we have any strategists we can use? We have Mr. Xuan over here, Sun Shao. That's pretty much it. Just this gentleman here, who is level 3. I don't have anyone else at my court that I can use. No. Level 3 strategist, though. That's honestly not half bad. Where's Sima Yi, though? Where's my man with the mad cackle? So I think going around as a big old death blob for the time being is what is called for. We can afford it, honestly, so we're just going to go for it. I don't think at this stage we're going to have to worry about spies, because level 3 is not bad. It's really not bad, but I don't think they would give us a spy this early. Right, light trebuchet or light artillery. That's a lot of upkeep, but we're going to go for at least one. And then maybe 90's not a huge amount of upkeep though. Good against armor. How much range has it got? No, we're just going to go for another unit of archers, actually. And then Xiahou Yuan is going to continue mustering in the livestock farm. Because I think what we're going to do is we're going to head towards Taoqian. We're going to allow Cao Cao's army to recuperate a little bit. I think we could... yeah, I'm going to try and extort some money out of someone who needs a bit of food. So we do have our non-aggression pact with Yuan Xiao. You have 9 food. You're not going to give me money for food? Well, you're very, very poor for food, though, you. And you're rich in money. Just the sort of person I want to do business with at the moment. So, let's see. I will give you food. For 10 turns, I will give you... I've got 14, so I will give you a maximum of 2. Okay. No, I can offer. That's the wrong one, that's why. So I will offer you 3 food. Possibly 4, actually. We'll see what sort of... so we'll request a payment. How much money can we get out of them? Just a one-time payment. Because we've got so much food. Ooh, you're willing to give me a lot of money for this, aren't you? 4.5? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Do you have any ancillaries? He's not going to offer me any territory for this. 5 food for that, or could drop down. Oh right, yeah, only 4 food. So 4 food for just over 1,000 coins. How about that? Okay, good. Yuan Shao is probably not too happy about us doing deals with his brother, but whatever. Business is business, right? Otherwise, I think it's just a case of waiting for our forces to replenish. Because that was a good lump sum payment, just in case we do dip into the red a little bit. But we do need to be a little bit careful. Because what I really want is some more troops in Xiahou Yuan's unit now, in addition to just his cavalry. Public order is at least going up now that we've garrisoned those areas, however. We've got a decent little chunk of land already. Faction destroyed, Yellow Turban Rebellion. That's actually, I think that's Wang Lang, isn't it? It is. He's got a large town there, though. Could upgrade that for more food production and more income from peasantry, but that's also a lot of upkeep per... well... Population growth, income... How about this? Prestige, food production, income from peasantry. So this is the livestock farm that I'm actually currently garrisoned in with Xiahou Yuan, which I think that would be the safer option to upgrade, because we could lose the farmland in Chen. Just because it's sort of sticking out here and it'll take a little while for us to reinforce it, and we don't really have the ability to raise an army quickly to deal with any interlopers. But other than that, I think we're pretty good. We still have that low general satisfaction. Thing is, though, I need to raise in rank before I can actually offer higher court positions. But you are not happy, are you? Hold on. It's not going down though, so it should be fine as is. Right. Just a little bit more replenishment before we start moving forwards. Arranged marriage between Cao Ren and Yuan Anyang. I'm not losing Cao Ren for that amount of money, man. I'm sorry. That's just... no, definitely not. We want our... he's probably our most loyal boy as well. So no. A valuable sentinel is worth more than that. Ooh, hello. That's Tao Qian as well. Wait a minute, that's... okay, so yeah, Dongzhuo's really falling apart. That's Tai Shitse. When did he join the Han Empire, I wonder? We... What can we get to if we go into march stance? We can't afford to lose Chen at all. Okay. We'd be tired in battle if we did that, but it's worth going behind our walls, I think. So he's got some Cav, some G, some archers, some pretty decent quality units actually, now that I look at them. This army though is pretty poor. Zhangba. Right, we... Yeah, I think what we need to do now is get as far over there as we can. Okay, have another reform that we can do as well. That's industry, which we don't really have any industry at the moment. Construction costs for military infrastructure, we don't really need more supplies. Could go down this way. Don't know if we need population growth at the moment though. Let's just go for this. It was pushing us down the military path anyway. Okay, this could get pretty ugly. Right. Okay. Let's see what they do. The ball's in their court. We've got a garrisoning force there. Yeah, now they're leaving. They're not liking that. Common deals military access. They'll give me some money as well. You know what? That could come in handy, sure. Yeah, now they're leaving. They want to try and go around my armies if they can. And frankly, I don't blame them. Consequential deals. Yuan Shu declared war on Liu Biao. We could catch Tao Qian here. Cannot attack in my current stance. Can we reach him? I think we can. We're liable to lose our livestock farm. But I think we go for it. We've got an opportunity to really hamstring. Yeah, and he knows it too. He's running away. Yeah, he's in a bad way. Is he raiding? He's suffering attrition, that's what he's doing. Right, we need to keep Xiahou Yuan here though, because we really, really don't want to lose our large town. We can afford to lose our livestock farm, even though I'm upgrading it, and next turn it will be... we have an upgrade for you. Is there any way that I can make you a little bit less pissed at me? Available assignments, sure. Okay. So we now have a level 3 wife. That sounds weird when I say it like that, but it's not, I promise. Okay. Enemies abound. I guess that was my fault for just resting on my laurels for a couple of turns. Where are you going? No, I don't think so. He knows he's made a terrible mistake. Coming after me. Discourses of... Hang on. A swordsman in your realm is known to be unbeatable, and you've enjoyed many evenings watching him defeat challengers in fighting matches. However, one evening he is challenged by a peasant armed with a simple homemade bamboo staff in place of a sword. The warrior scoffs, but the peasant's fighting style is unknown to him, and soon he is laid low by the deft movement of the staff. You contemplate this and conclude that flexibility is the greatest weapon against chaos, and it is time you yourself studied a new skill. Discourse of the States for Cao Cao. Ooh, satisfaction. I need that desperately at the moment. Okay, there it is. Minus 5% corruption as well. Is that enough to make Lady Bian a little less angry? She's getting less happy. Listen, greed is unbecoming of you. Right, I think we'll go back because we can't afford to let Taishitsu just do as he pleases. Let's have a little bit more budget with which we can recruit a couple more units with. I think a couple of units of G militia will suit for the time being. Very basic, but good all-purpose, all-round units. I'm gonna go after... I don't really know what it is he's doing. Wang Lang. No. Listen, you're in the way, actually. I need to invade you soon, so... Noble birth. Another son has been born. Hold on a moment. So that's family tree. Cao Cao. So, I mean, she's angry with us, but we're still having children, so she can't be that angry. Aha. Right. There we go. You are replenishing. Still at a decent rate. We don't have a lot of money, but... Okay, so that's increasing piece by piece. Farmland. Can convert it to an agricultural garrison camp. That's a huge garrison. Look at that. Communal grain farms. Although I... Right, hold on. That's... So 60 upkeep per turn for communal grain farms. But we get prestige, food production. So less food production, but military buildings construction goes down by 10%. It's also way less by the looks of things. Intriguing. Yeah, sure. We'll convert it, why not? As for this, still just sort of waiting to see what Taishitsu does. If he's just passing through and he buggers off, then happy days. And he is, by the looks of things. Although he's garrisoning that town now. Who are you? Before I sign any agreements with you, it would behoove me to at least learn who you are. That's Liu Yao. Tao Chen. Where are you? That's Liu Dai. That's some dude. Oh, that's Dong Min, yeah. Where are you? Have I not met you, but you've met me? Is that what's happening here? Sure. You know, fine. I don't know who you are, but I'll sign a deal with you. War declared between Wang Lang and Dong Min. I'm surprised everyone's not at war with Dong Min already. He inherited Dong Zhuo's mess of a faction. Right. Well, I need to do something here. I need to take a gamble somewhere, but the question is, what direction do I move in?